It's been wrong in the past, even at those levels, but I do think it's a sure thing this time.
And I finally had a sure thing.
The stock market was a sure thing.
Sure thing.
Not a sure thing.
Sure thing.
It wasn't a sure thing.
It's a sure thing.
Amen.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Not a sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing. Sure thing.
Sure thing. Sure thing.
I don't think it's a sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Not a sure thing. Sure thing.
Must be a sure thing, but I don't think it's a sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Sure thing.
Nature, everybody wants to rule the...
Where have you been?
I had a
Wait,
birthday.
You wouldn't answer for a week and a half.
Yeah, you were whinging. So
What
I
do you
thought I'd
mean?
just
Like
leave it for a
you had a hot potato in your hand and you weren't doing anything with it.
What do you
no
mean I had a hot
update.
potato in my hand?
What do you mean?
What do you mean I had a hot potato in my hand?
Well, you had the live pod. Like we're waiting on the app. So it's understandable when you send a courier out and they don't come back, you ring and go, "Hey, is my Uber Eats, my delivery coming?"
Yeah,
And
but
then
you
you're
messaged
like,
me
"You're
and
not
said it was
answering?"
over.
What's this?
You were catastrophizing. You messaged me and said, "Mate, it's over."
Oh,
And
dude,
then-
your sound's not that good, eh? It's all staticky.
I don't know. I don't know where that's from. Hold on. What about now? No, it's off now.
Mate,
What about now?
let's see. Talk.
Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, it's sort of muted in a way, hey? But whatever.
What do you mean it's muted in a way?
Well, it's sort of, there's a distance to it. Normally you're quite loud. I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Mate, well, that's all right. Who cares? Do we care? Dude, I never catastrophized. You didn't answer for 10 days.
No, the first thing you said to me was, "It's over, man. Pod's over."
I was angry, man. There was a point.
So I thought it was over. I thought I'd just leave it.
For days I was going to message and go like, "Fuck you, you fucking pod's over, cunt." Kept writing it and going like, "That's it. I'm done. 2 years, you motherfucker. Give me access to the account. I want to upload a new thought, sure thing." I kept, for every few hours I was writing a message and then deleting it with a vicious fuck off.
It was too whingy. I left it alone.
Wow.
I had a nice birthday. Thank you. It was thanks for your well wishes.
When was your birthday? What have you achieved?
Mate, last week I had a good time. It was real nice. Thank you.
Mate, I love that you get that you celebrate just basically arriving. Like
I wasn't celebrating. I was just having a nice time.
I know, no, but you know what I mean? A birthday, people get a cake, and I'm like, you literally do nothing. You just arrived. I'm like, hey, remember when you arrived 30 years ago? Good on you. And you're like, why don't you celebrate your wins? Why don't you get a cake when you've done something? Oh, you get a cake just for arriving at the terminal? Every year we go, wow. I'm like, surely there's points where you go like, well, this hasn't worked well. Let's stop the cake. I mean, you've literally hung around in the terminal. You've done nothing. You're looking around and they keep giving you a cake. I'm like, you could have been working on something, a tunnel, creating something. What have you done?
Yeah.
Do you not find it depressing when you get your birthday?
Yes, it's horrible. I hate it.
It's a sad moment, man, but I'll tell you the anger I had. And you fucking got in my head right when I was in Sydney. I was livid about it.
Yeah, just by ignoring. It was I think, very well done.
Like,
on
you
my
do
part.
it even when you start the pod. Because, like, a normal person would, like, greet me, but you just sort of mill around, and I'm like, oh, there's just an inch of trying the patience where you're like, you don't acknowledge me.
What do you mean?
And you do all your laptop. You can see me on the screen, and it's obviously gameplay, and I'm like, you're lucky you're not in the room, man.
I didn't have my microphones plugged in. I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, but you can see me. And most people visually, when they see someone, would acknowledge them. But it's
I
obviously
see you
very
and
disrespectful to,
But when
like,
I see you, it's upsetting.
well, mate, the thing is, it's getting toxic. Hey, there's a lot of hate now. I can feel it.
Well, not from me. I'm fine.
What do you mean? You come on the pod, I see you plugging in your equipment, you see me, and you actively avoid the screen to acknowledge that I'm there. I'm not dumb. It's
You
obviously a game.
You kept messaging me saying, send a link. And I was like, all right,
Yeah,
I'll
but
send a
you
link. But I'm trying
understand
to
it's
set
definitely-
up.
it's not, the cue's not missed on me, right? That you actively avoid looking at the screen. The screen's there. It's obviously the source that most people would look at to see if it's working. But your eye line avoids it for 5 minutes just to fucking antagonize me.
I think you're overthinking it.
No, wait. No human does that.
plugging in my
What
cables.
human, when someone appears on the screen, we haven't seen each other in 10 days, will then plug in plugs and for 5 minutes pretend that I'm not there?
Whoa,
Just to-
you haven't seen me in 10 days.
It's an alpha move.
No, you haven't seen me in 10 days. You're on my monitor all the time.
Dude,
for
but
little edits or fixes or things.
It's an alpha move. It's like when you shake at a table and then you don't shake one hand. Or you say, hey, good to see you, Jeff, good to see you, and then you leave someone out. It's not
I think you're really...
This is why I'm calling it out.
I think you're really overthinking
I'm
it.
calling you out that you strategically doing that to antagonize me.
I just wanted to plug all the gear in so I could start the pod faster because I know that we've got limited time.
Well, mate, the other problem is and then you know what the thing is? The pod was over. And then I'm racking my mind. I'm like, who else in Perth can I do it with? And I'm like, no one. I'm trapped. I can't think of a single fucking person that I can record with. And then I'm like, fuck. And then just the distance of our recording is so fucking annoying. Do you know what I mean? The fact that we have to do Zoom tracks, this track. But so there's no real option anyway, because if you went over east, it's the same issue. You've got Goxie trying to fucking log in on a mobile in a park. You're like, how the fuck's this going to work? The guy's missing trains and shit. What's this?
How have you been? What's new?
Oh, man.
How was Sydney? You didn't tell me you were to Sydney. You could have come to the Gold Coast.
I've been like tantalized. Like what you did with your little fucking charger is what the world's doing for me because TMK is now at 2 cents. So that's 40, 50
Wait,
grand.
where was it last time? Last time we talked, where was it?
It's a 40, 50 grand profit missed out on. And then my inside tip, I locked in a loss. And then Miso Blast, I was so fucking angry when I was in Sydney. I ended up going like, fuck off Miso Blast. I locked in a minor loss because I was like, I'm just not going to waste my time. I'll wait for Talon. And then it started running. So every day it's been great to me. And Sydney sucked. I went in during the school holidays. So my flight, there were 2 people picked, me and an Asian woman that had been bumped. And it's a red eye. And then Qantas has that, Qantas had that idea of, rather than just going, look, dude, you're not on the flight. They're like degenerate gambler. I'm waiting at the gate and they go, well, let's give it 1 more minute. Who knows? Someone might pull out. I'm like, it's fucking 1 a.m., man. I want to go home. And then they go, look, we'll try on the Melbourne flight if you really need to go there. And then they go, look, unfortunately, you and this other lady have been bumped. And they go, do you live in Perth? And I'm like, no, you have to get me a hotel. And then they were like, okay. So I think I'm going to get somewhere nice. And they go, it's amazing. You're going to get a $50 voucher for food. You get breakfast. I arrive. So I go with this lady, this Asian girl. I'm like, what? Talk about that for safety. They just put the 2 of us in an Uber together. I'm like, we don't know each other.
Really? Jesus Christ.
I'm like, how's that for a lawsuit when they realize I'm Dahmer? And I'm like, hey, there you go. And I'm just groping her the whole trip going, hey, well, I got to relieve the stress from missing the flight. So they just put us together. But we got the $100 voucher. I said, don't use that. We'll get an Uber. We'll burn this fucking cab charge because it was only like a 10-minute trip. And I was like, nah. Save that charge and make sure you use it to optimize it. So we arrive at the hotel. They go, sorry, we have no room service. I'm like, it's a motel. And I'm like, I said, so they knew this. I go, how often do they send people? Every day. So they're just writing false checks. $50 for you to get a nice meal. See you in 3 hours, cunt.
There's no room service. There's nothing.
There's no room service. And I go, well, we'll get breakfast in the morning.
Do they have a nice vending machine? Could you clear that out at least?
No, so then they go I go, well, I'll get breakfast. And they go, no, breakfast is at 9. So I'm like, when they send me off, they knew I was getting nothing. I'm like, why didn't they just write a $3,000 check and go crazy? We feel bad because you're never validating it. So then I convinced the Indian guy. I'm like, well, fuck that. I'm like, do you have anything? And I said, give me those fucking cans of drink. I said, I'll buy $50 worth of cans. I said, give me $50 of Coke. And he's like, you're only here 3 hours. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm tipping them down the sink. These cunts are spending that $50. So I walk to my fucking shitty motel room, and you're worried, right? Because you're going to sleep
This is still in Perth, right?
This is in Perth.
So you could have been at home.
But on principle I didn't. So I'm in a motel. I've got about 40 cans of Coca-Cola. And then I ended up just leaving in the room. I said, dude, you can sell them on. So then I leave in the morning and, you have those horrible sleeps where you're like, the flight. And you're like, oh, it's been 15 minutes. The flight. Oh, 2 minutes sleep. In and out. Get to the flight. Flight's fucked. Then you know what I mean? So then I arrive there and there's the standard, the taxi driver. I'm like, fuck this, I'll get a taxi because I've been flying for 26 hours now and I could be in Bangladesh, like I've been going forever. And I was like, I'll get a taxi, but because it's school holidays, I'm staying in a shithole really close to the airport. Then I cop shit from the taxi driver. Oh, motherfucker, St. Peter. And I'm like, dude, fuck. What the fuck? Because you know how he goes, I've been waiting for an hour, 30 minutes. And I'm like, I can't help it. You're a moron trying to gamble. I said, you could get any ride, dude. You don't manifest big rides because you sat for an hour and a half and didn't do a trip. It's not my fucking problem. I'm like, I'm giving you money, man. And then I told him, look, take this fucking cab charge and just rack it up for $100. I don't give a shit. And he goes, that's immoral, what you're suggesting. And I was like, well, it's your problem. I gave you a solution, mate. And I'm like, your life. I said, don't blame me.
So he didn't want to do it? He didn't want to
we're having a fight. And then I was like, don't blame me for your career. I said, I didn't become a taxi driver. Go and fucking dig a hole somewhere. You could be a tradie. You get all angry. I'm like, I'm the fucking guy paying you. If I'm not here, you don't have any money. And then I was like, your life sucks, hey? I would have been happy to do some jokes with you, rather than having this tension where we might fight. And I said, you chose this. I've fucking been running. And I said, I just want to get to my hotel. Guess where my hotel is? St. Peter's, which is on a major highway because it was school holidays. It's between a KFC and a McDonald's. We share the drive-through. So I look out my window and I can see fat families getting family meals out the window. And then,
fuck me.
So that's it. So then I'm lying in there and, absolute fucking nightmare. I'm meant to be headlining, but it's all the old salt dogs that used to gig with me. So I arrive and they go, headliner now, headliner. You're going to do your yelling, are you? Whoa, headliner with Wolfie. So then I'm sitting behind the curtain. They're crushing. They get in my head. I'm not doing well now because they've got in my head. By a few nights in, I watch the act. I'm like, get the fuck out, whatever. I don't care. But one of the worst runs. Night 3, went out, chopping up Dexies, used my hotel card. So I couldn't get back into my room, so I had to sleep on the ground at the Ibis.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
And how's the Ibis? It's Hotel Ibis. Their Ibis is out there. I've got a photo. Their Ibis is hanging around the bins out the front because there's a McDonald's there. There's hundreds of these fucking Ibis everywhere that you've got to kick away to get in your room. But night 1, the reception closes. It's open for about an hour. When I arrived, they go, sorry, mate, both cleaners have quit. The room's going to be another few hours.
They just quit.
And I go, mate, my room was meant to be free hours ago. I've been late anyway. And I go, what are you going to do about it? And he goes, nah, well, shit happens. And I'm like, shit happens for you, cunt. Like, you got to fix this for me. Like, give me something. Give me a coupon. And he goes, he's not interested. Give me a voucher. Give me a can of drink. You better fucking repair me. He didn't care. But anyway, so this reception's behind fences because people are obviously getting angry, trying to bash them. Do you know, it's behind like caging. And then reception seems to be open for about an hour a day. So when I came back in the middle of the night, I can't get in my room because I have no key. So I had to sleep on the carpet. And I woke up at 12 with the cleaners who had come on time that day, stepping over me and going, fuck. But yeah, so I slept, and in hindsight, there was a laundry hamper behind, and I was like, I should have just climbed into the dirty sheets, and they could have found me. They could have found me lying in the sheets. Every gig sucked. I was negotiating. I'm meant to be headlining. It's been only 15 minutes. I was begging them, look, let's keep it to 12. I can't do this. Do you know how bad it is when you're the headliner?
Jacob was all right.
And I'm like,
Jacob
look,
was on with you, right?
what's this?
Jacob was on with you, right?
They was what?
Jacob was on with you, right?
Nah.
I thought he was. He said he saw you.
Yeah. They just came to
He just came along.
look at the freak
so
show. Just
Just a
popped
bunch
in.
of cunts.
The worst night was the final night. 60 people in. Probably the worst selling ever for a late show at the store. And it was like 20 of them were comics just staring at me as I tried to push to make 15 minutes, yelling about molestation. And they're like, don't worry, it was fine. I was like, it was fucking wretched, dude. No, probably the worst numbers I'd ever seen.
Oh, man. Well, I'm sorry you had such a bad time in Sydney.
And they had been yelling, they'd been lying, saying, sales are real good, selling quicker than ever. And the whole thing sucked. My favorite moment, though, was getting those bikes. You know those the share
The line
bikes?
bikes? The e-bikes?
E-bikes are unbelievable. Just driving home drunk on a main road with no helmet, just weaving through traffic, yelling, and just middle of the night, just flaunting the law up past Newtown. Do you know what I mean? Just it just feels so great with people seeing you with no helmet. You don't give a fuck. You're just holding up cars. You drive, and you basically just vexation to society. You're just a nightmare, and you're just laughing on your bike as you just be a pain in the ass. But yeah, so that was it, dude. Sydney came back. Oh, by the way, I didn't book my flight back because they were so expensive. So that was increasing every day. It cost me. It cost me.
Man, what is going on with this fucking airline industry? These flight prices have gotten ridiculous.
It was $800 to get home.
Fuck me.
And then I went there, and there was a $65 charge. When I got there, I was like, because I was 7 kilos and I had 10. And then I go, I'm going to put this shit on. And I tried to hide the laptop down the front of my pants. And she goes, laptop, sir. And then she goes, your flight's in 4 minutes. And I'm like, fuck. Fucking just take the 65. And then, you know what? I had to resist because I was going to rip. I thought, you know what I'm going to do? Is I'm going to fucking vandalize this plane. I'm going to break something off worth 35 grand. I'm going to kick in. And I was looking, I had to resist. It was only because I was trapped in the middle of some fat woman. Otherwise, I was planning to rip those life jackets and try shove them down the toilet. See if I could dump 100 into the ocean as we're flying and go like, hey, you lost 89 life jackets valued at about 40 grand. So thank you for your $65 charge. I'll lighten the load for you guys, hey? Get rid of some of your life jackets. And then you won't have to charge people anymore. But I was so angry, man. If I could have ripped everything I was looking at, I was like, how do I rip that off? Do you know when you're like that? You're in the cabin, and I'm like, maybe I can bend that lock. So they have to get an engineer to fix it if I boot. Why don't I shove fucking... Do you know, if I shove something sharp into this electrical socket, what happens? Do you know what I mean? Like, because once they lose that trust, they've got me on the flight. And my whole plan is, oh, look, if I shove something metal into this plastic looking thing, they'll have to get it fixed. And that'll be 10 grand. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Do you have that mindset?
I don't know. I'm not getting charged extra on planes, man.
Oh,
you know
man.
what I mean? Like, I'm not getting stuck in a motel unable to get in.
Dude, and when I came back from the trip, nightmare, I think the gravity of my life kicked in. And the whole time these stocks are drifting. And because I'm so angry, I ended up selling miso in anger, a rage sell. And I could have made like 10, 20 grand on it. And now I'm watching it drift up. It had the news.
So we're down. Wait. We're down on TMK. We're down on Miso.
No. I'm not down on TMK. I would have doubled. I made a little bit of money.
You would have doubled.
What?
You would have doubled.
Yeah, but I still made a few grand. I just would have made like a lot of money.
You made a few grand, right?
But then Talon won't move, even though it's got 33 of the same project. It just sits there.
Why did you go all the way to Sydney and not come to the Gold Coast?
Oh, man. Do you know what? And the thing was, I don't know. Hey, everything's like a bad dream. I'm like the fantasy of Sydney.
You spent all of the fee for Comedy Store on the flight back.
Oh, yeah, I lost money on the trip.
Fuck me.
And you know how I told you last time? You know, you know how I told you last time, like Superwog and those guys were into my set? They came back on the Sunday and they were all in that room with the 60 people.
Oh, no.
And no one spoke to me after. And I saw him walk past and leave. And then I checked my Instagram to see if he had unfollowed me because I'd been yelling, going like, fuck. And I saw the disappointment of the failed fucking set. I don't know, dude. The only good thing is I've quit drinking now and smoking. I was like, well, can't get worse. Why am I trying to have fun?
This explains a lot of the hateful messages that you've been sending to me.
Mate, I was livid that you didn't answer. I'm like, how the fuck do all these other turds get a podcast out every week? Ours seems to just be like longer and longer. People are complaining about it. I'm like, where the fuck is it? It's months. I'm like, I'm still talking about Amber Heard. It's 8 years after it's released. And we're like, the Amber Heard controversy. I'm like, that was fucking 6 months ago. What the fuck? But I'm like, why is it so hard? Everything's so fucking hard. I can't even hear you properly now, if I'm honest.
Well, I don't know how to fix that. I don't know what you've done.
It's like, I'll try this. Hello?
Hello? Is that working?
No, it's worse.
Fuck me. I don't know, man. It looks pretty good on my side.
You know what
I'm
I
not
think's
sure what the
happening? I'm
problem
getting your sound through my computer and it's sketching it out. It was whatever you did with that wiring.
Plug everything in?
Yeah.
It's plugged in the way it's always plugged in, man.
Dude, how about, okay, speakers, real tech, and maybe we'll try communications default.
I don't think it's that.
Speakers. Where's the... Oh, I know what happened.
What?
Last time, I used to plug in the Roadcaster. Wait a sec.
So it's not me, is it?
Yeah, but dude, if I plug it in, the wire's too short. Motherfucker. I've got to have it like a meter away from my fucking head.
How do other podcasts get everything done once a week? That's crazy. I don't know.
Whatever. I'm not even going to plug it in anymore, man. Do you know what pissed me off as well last week? Hello?
What?
We plugged in the I got all the computer equipment set up, and then I ended up having like a wet dog.
What?
No, I was saying like once I put the headset on and it brushed all my hair down, like I looked like a rat that had come out of a pipe, and I'd been checking all the visuals. I was like, they're good. And now I've moved it again, but it was like the whole pod, my head looked flat like a boy doing his communion, Holy Communion, with their hair all...
Who cares?
I care. And you know what? This fucking sucks. Why do they get like the exact distance from the Roadcaster to the laptop? I've got like half that wire. I'm like, what? It's the shortest wire ever. It's like a white man's dick. I'm like, why is the wire seem to be like the shortest wire I've ever seen? I'm like, it's a micro wire, so I can't get your audio linked unless I'm eventually going to have to be stooped up like like Bear Grylls trying to light a fire
What's got this short wire? What are you trying to plug in?
Well, I'm saying to connect the Roadcaster to that, I have to almost be like I'm on Survivor trying to light a fire with kindling. I'm like, oh, hey, Josh, how are you going?
But which wire is this?
This is what's become of the pod. I'm now have to be hunched over like a fucking homeless guy, yelling like this, hey, Josh, how are you? I'm not even allowed to relax and have a water. I've got to be fucking hunched like an Asian guy working a rice field to try and fucking have the camera, have the sound. Hey, Joshy, how are you? And then I give it to you and it reappears 9 years later. I send you off the courier. I email the courier. I'm like, dude, is the delivery there? Courier doesn't respond. I'm like, hey, did you get the urgent blood to the hospital? Nah, mate, you seem to be too needy. You kept asking for it. I'm like, did they die?
Well, the first thing you said to the courier was, fuck the courier. I don't want the courier anymore.
Mate, And then I got worried that you might have heard me on another pod where I was in a rage and I was just going like, fuck that guy, fucking, because I get worried on this pod because I have no filter. I'm like, what have I said? I see my sister. I'm like, she's not talking to me. I'm like, did I say anything about her? Maybe. I don't know where the pod begins and where my life ends. Like, I'm like, what have I actually said on this fucking thing? Fuck! Anyway, how have you been, man? Oh, look. There's no USB on this side, so this is my new pod. Look.
There's no what on this side?
The only way I can get the sound.
What do you,
hey, man.
What do you mean? I don't understand what the issue is, man.
This is how the pod's got to be now.
I
can hear you.
The wire between what?
I can hear you well now.
I don't know. You plugged it in last time. The only problem with the last one is that you kept kicking the table and the video was too small and you kept wobbling the camera.
Well, this is how the video's got to be. So I hope everyone enjoys it.
Why does the video have to?
This is the only way I can get sound.
What does the camera have to do with the fucking roadcaster?
So I'd like to tell all the patrons, hope you enjoyed this new video outside a window.
What does the camera have to do with the roadcaster?
How good's this? People that paid for the video and it's just filming out a window because I'm like, I've had enough.
But what does the camera have to do with the roadcaster?
Basically, the roadcast, now I can hear you really well, by the way. I just can't see.
Right, yeah, so it wasn't me. Okay.
But I'm now loving that I think all visuals should just be that. This blank
But
window.
why is the camera intrinsically linked to the roadcaster?
It's not. It's my laptop has to be half a meter away from the roadcaster to get the roadcaster sound in.
But where's the camera?
Camera's behind. Camera's not a problem. I'm talking about audio.
But why am I looking out a window then?
Because to connect my laptop to the roadcaster, I've only got half a meter of wire. So
But the camera, what happened to the camera? That like the USB camera.
it's still there.
But why can't the camera move independently of the laptop?
What do you mean? Okay, wait. You're talking like this? It can. Is this better?
What? No, you haven't moved the camera.
I have. It just actually sketched out.
I'm still staring at a window.
Listen, I honestly, look, not staring out a window. I'll just do the pod like this now.
What do you mean?
This is our new look. Anyway, man, what have you been up to?
Not much.
I don't know, man.
Got some other shows on sale. It's been busy, man.
What new show's on sale?
And some others are coming up.
It's Jurassic Park out there, eh? You're doing a Jurassic Park recreation. Look, I know it's nostalgic, but Jesus Christ. Reaching back into the past. What are you next going to have the crew from Titanic doing a fucking show? The raftsmen from Titanic are doing a fucking musical? I'm like, dude, you know what I feel weird? Is you're always told that...
What am I watching? What is this?
What's this? You know what I found weird?
Hey?
Yeah, man, I'm just going to use the
Your audio's
bad
cut out.
audio.
There's no mic.
What's this?
I can't hear you.
Okay. Well, wait a sec. Oh, fuck. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, I was going to say to you, yeah, because they always say fame's fleeting, but not in Australia. Once you've been on one Tim Tam commercial, you're there forever. They just won't let it go. They're like, they were so good. And I'm like, how about we just rolling out the same thing, like the Royal Show, the Mighty Mouse, and the same Birdie Beetle fucking show bag.
I can't include this.
Mate, I'm like, let's just keep doing the Birdie Beetle for thousands of years. Your shows are going to sell well. You better include this.
I have to cut all of this.
Dude, that's unbelievable. Look at this shit. Oh, this is good.
I can't see what you're talking
If I just pull Branchy's shit I'm back. Sucked in, you fucking dog. Okay, we're good now, man. There you go. Can you hear me now?
Okay.
Oh, now we're back.
Okay, good.
Let me just make sure the camera looks good. That matches.
Give me 1 sec. While you do that.
I'll just make sure my camera matches my dating profile shot. Dude, if you want this pod to work, we got to stop editing. Yeah, mate. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Well put, Josh. I agree with that. That's really interesting. Yeah, I agree. Do you think that? Yeah, that's interesting. I agree. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, you know, it's always tough when you met someone new. Well, you'll get through it, mate. Just stay positive.
Are your parents back from their latest holiday adventure?
Mate, I am so detached from reality now. It feels like I'm on a prank show and I'm waiting for Ashton Kutcher to come out. I'm like, okay, it's getting ridiculous. Do you know what happened today? I had to get a coffee. I have to get a coffee, right? I'm lining up and the lady behind me, I won't say what race because we don't do that anymore.
Just do the eyes.
Okay, but they come in and they say, excuse me, like, can I just go in front? It's me and 2 other people. I'm just getting a coffee. And the lady goes in front and I go like, yeah. I'm here to get a coffee. It's a coffee store. I said, what do you think I'm here? Like getting a fucking kilo of sausages that you have to wait for? I'm saying, I'm getting fucking coffee as well. But I go ahead. And she goes, no, it's fine. I'm like, nah, you're in a rush. You go and get it. And then she goes, 1 skinny cappuccino, half a sugar. She orders it. And then right behind I go, your order, sir? I go, skinny cappuccino, half the sugar, exact same order. And then I'm like, how rude. She goes like, hey, I'm just doing a small order, just a coffee. I'm like, everyone's doing a small order. No one's here doing the fucking, do you know what I mean? Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, did you know what we've been doing?
Go in front.
Do you know what we did, which was the best thing ever? When you start to become deranged by society, is my boys are on holiday now. Yeah. So we've got a Nerf gun. And I was like, because my brother's boy got pecked by a Maggie. And it was like, I was like, kill it, kill the hole. And he goes, well, that's not I'm like, it's an inch away from your eye. I would slaughter the whole family. I said, I'm down there, I'll slaughter the whole family for doing it. And he's like, beautiful birds. They deserve it. I'm like, they should all be slaughtered. I'd put everyone's head on a stick and warn the others. But anyway, so then I was like, oh, dude, we should go and get to the boys, get more Nerf bullets and just go like trying to shoot birds and stuff. So it's been so bad.
What the fuck do you mean?
It's so bad. My boys saw me at a park and I got like the tennis ball bucket and because they were swooping and I had that over my head with the Nerf gun. And then we were like trying to shoot Maggies, basically hunting. But it's so weird because we're in like a suburban area. So there's people with dogs walking past and it's me with our boys like trying to fucking shoot birds. And I'm like, if they come, just pretend it's a game, boys. But then we got carried away yesterday and both of them, we were driving in my car and I'm like, don't do it at the lights. And we were shooting people with the Nerf guns. So I had like my 4-year-old hanging out a window, shooting people with this Nerf gun. And they're like, Daddy, this is the best fun ever. I'm like, no shit, dude, this rules. We're fucking driving the suburbs with the gun out the window like we're a gang and just ripping Nerf bullets into, because we got an electric one that shoots it real hard and just basically egging. And we're howling in the car because it is so funny to me that a suburban housewife's walking her dog and she sees a grown man with his son hanging out the window, 4-year-old, laughing as he shoots at her. And I've endorsed it. But yeah, so that's what we've been doing on the holidays.
That's good. Are your parents back from whatever adventure they've been on?
Oh, mate, every time I can hear them, they're planning another trip.
Yeah, yep. As soon as he got back from Sydney, I take it.
Dude, I think they were looking at hostels in Perth. For a weekend away at a hostel. That would be as we always spoke, that would be the sad moment where I have
when they are renting.
Where I text them and go, hey, you've got some mail through, the electricity bill's due. And I send it to the hostel. And they're like, I'm like, yeah, water's gone through the roof. I accidentally left the bath running. I'm sorry. I'm like, if you guys can come and sort that out, or I'll drop it off at the Perth hostel. How's it going there? I heard they do an incredible breakfast, cereal and toast. Incredible. Yeah, man. But life becomes, the hardest part of life, because I'm not smoking or drinking now, is just boredom. Literally nothing happens. And the more sober you get, the more boring you realize people are. I'm like, they're in a loop, just doing the same shit. And I'm like, they drain their battery. Say your brain was a battery. They drain 80% of it just on irrelevance. Going like, the lawn's not nice. I'm like, what are you talking about? What is this shit? Don't ever talk to me about any of this. You're draining my battery. I'm like, I just need to make money. If you didn't distract me, I'm yelling, if you didn't distract me, if I hadn't got message, I probably wouldn't have sold TMK and Miso. If I make a few $100,000, I don't have to talk to you guys. I just hire someone to deal with everything. Do you know what I mean? You're only a few million away from not having to worry about this.
Yep.
You can just write off a check. Do you know what I mean? That coffee lady, can I go in front? I'm like, here's 10 grand. Don't talk to me again. I just want to have money. I want to be like Mr. Beast, but just handing money out to go like, finish. Hold that thought. Here's 10 grand. Does that fix it? Do you think you would love it? Where you're like, you know how you're tipping in the US for service, tipping to just end people's convo? Yeah. They go, look, we've got an emergency with the... But yeah, so we've had big dramas. And now the other thing is I've been fighting with my ex again, and we were going to move to a Monday swap, and now she won't do it.
Why?
Spite.
I'm sure that's not the reason she gave, though.
Well, she said, I've spoken to a lawyer, and whatever the pattern of, is my fucking pattern of,
are you worried about your hair again?
Whatever the pattern of custody is remains. And I'm like, I didn't know Monday or Friday would have a big impact on your administrative job. Sorry. I'm trying to travel and gig. I'm like, is Monday inconvenient for you? What, is the mailroom chockers on Monday? What do you fucking do? And then you know what the thing is? During the holidays, the mum had to pick it up, and they were like, look, they're a pensioner now, bit tighter on money, so can you meet them halfway to hand over the kid? So I had to meet halfway, and I was like, oh yeah, I worked out how much fuel, it's $3.20. And I was like, I said to my ex, I'm like, look, if your mum needs the $3.20, I'm happy to scoop some coins out of my thing. And I said, we've also got, I've got a lot of tins of beans and soup around. Tell her not to be too proud. I'm happy to fill her boot with Campbell's soup, on the next trip. I can get her some hamper clothes. I didn't know $3.20 was material. I'm bankrupt, and I'm like, I will fucking... You know that period a few months ago where I was just throwing money out the car window, just in anger?
No, what are you talking about?
Well, I just started, you know how often I'll just throw trash out the car window just because I'm angry, and I'm like, I just fucking throw it. And then I started to just basically, they're coins there and they're annoying, so I just grab a handful of them and just throw them out the window.
Right, okay.
Well, just to show an abandonment for civilization. Oh, money, so important. I just scooped hundreds of little gold coins and just fuck off. Get out. I'm online now. But whatever,
This is like a starving man throwing a bowl of rice out a window.
Well, it's just...
It's like, not enough, not good enough.
It's sort of
I want honey chicken.
It's that spiteful move where I was like, everything's going so bad. I'm like, how about I start making it bad for myself as well? Here's money for a coffee. Bang, out the window. Don't care.
Have you been spitting in the mirror again? Has that started again?
I haven't spit in the mirror, man. But
Are you sure? Because it sounds like you're very self-destructive and angry at the moment.
dude, you know what? This was the greatest moment. We had kids sports day, or kids fair day, and there's not enough parking there. There's only parking for about 40 cars. But they've changed all the thing, no parking. I'm like, well, where are we meant to park? So I park in the teachers' parking area. And for this event, one of the teachers, because I think they were so angry with me, has like parked their shitty Datsun to block off the entry. They blocked off the entry, right? So that we'd have to find alternate park. So I mounted the curb and drove through the actual, I went off road. And still, I saw her car and I saw them looking, and they saw me there and I reversed. And I thought, oh, well, that hasn't won because I can mount the curb and just drive through most of this flower garden and still park my car where I always do. And what a moment, because they had sat there strategically and they thought, checkmate, we've got him. And the joy I felt as they looked over at me and saw me leaving from my standard spot, which is on the lawn behind the teacher's thing. And they realized, oh, he's driven through the garden to get here. I'm like, you will never stop me. I will park no matter what. And then I was going to let down her tires, but I thought, this is getting a lot. As a parent, to be caught.
Oh, man, like she'd made you a bad burger at a Hungry Jack's, huh?
Oh, mate, I'll tell you. Life. I've been watching, have you been watching that Dahmer thing?
No, I haven't watched it.
Dude, that's what was killing me.
But I know Dahmer, I understand. Remember Jeffrey Dahmer and Greg?
Oh, mate, that was good. I was watching it in Sydney, and then you end up, whatever you see, you start identifying with. And I was smoking out the front of Ibis, and I'm like, maybe I can lure that couple into my unit. Maybe I can slaughter a couple. And I feel a lot. I'm like, because it's sort of like that idea, until you've tried it, how do you know? It might be fucking liberating as you're drowning someone in the bath. You might go, you know what? Yeah, there is upside to life. Do you know when you're just frustrated? I'm like, you can't dismiss killing someone until you've done it. It might be, we've spoken about it before. It might be fucking what you need.
It might be really good.
Imagine that. So
Yeah.
a woman cuts you off for a coffee and you're like, yeah, I slaughtered a family last night, so it's not a big deal. Is it? Someone cuts you off in traffic and you're like, well, that's fun because I buried someone in a forest an hour ago, so I'm not that worried. I'm pretty sure I'm ahead. I'm pretty sure I won. But anyway, I'm not going to do that. But the Dahmer thing, people find it quite traumatic. The show.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he seemed all right. He was a heavy drinker, and I think in high school he looked like a good hang. I was like, oh, he seemed fun. Do you know what the best is? It's the first serial killer where he's just, he's blackout drinking and then kill it. So there's a party vibe to it. Do you know what I mean? Where he's got a sixer and you see him like, and he sculls cans real quickly and throws them in the sink. And you're like, look, he's got a dark side, but those first 6 beers probably a good hang. Don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows, man? Oh, how long do you reckon this app will take to get released? How long are you going to sit on it to spite me?
Man, I was thinking about. Well, do you remember? Was there something with Neil Armstrong's "One Small Step for Man"? Did he fuck that up or something? Like he was supposed to say something else. I got this weird memory of him like meaning to say something else, or he fucked up the line.
Nah, man, I think that was, and it was one of those classic pre-planned lines rather than being in the moment. He'd prepared it and he knew that he was going to be in history. That's one small step. And I imagine him on the flight going like, ringing his wife. Do you reckon that's pretty good? Yeah, it's pretty cool. You know,
I don't know if they had landlines up in space.
I would prefer that he'd just going, fuck, it's cold up here. There's nothing. And they go like, Neil, and he goes, fucking freezing my dick off up here. The suit's a bit tight. Do you know what I mean? Like just honest stuff and going like, it's just dirt. Imagine
I would have I reckon if you're not going to go for a line that tries to make you money, something like I never would have made it today if I had stayed in school, just to try and get kids away from it. Make sure you're the only person who ends up on the moon.
I just want really basic commentary. It's just grey dirt up here. And it's the opening line, and they go, "What do you have to say to everyone looking up?" It's just fucking grey dirt. And you're like, you just, is it good up there? And goes, fuck all. Because it would have been quite, it's all right, but it's not that fun. Don't you
I
think?
reckon it would be pretty fun, man.
No, it's only
Also,
fun.
you remember it's the 60s, right? Like, there's not much else going on.
Yeah, but it's only
There's
fun
no video
because
games.
It's sort
You
of
might
that.
as well have a jump around.
It's sort of that vibe when I used to travel with work, and you're in Barcelona, but the only excitement is telling people that you're there. You're not really enjoying it. It's just photos of you near museums, and you're like kicking back with the cocktail. I'm like, the reality is that moon sucks. You're just in a suit. The food's average. It's probably better than Jetstar, but I'm like, you're up there, and then you know once you come back in, like how many days to get back. You're like, this is probably not worth it, really. Like, what did you do up there? Walked around a bit.
What about you get off the shuttle and it's like just buy MSB?
Oh, mate.
Because that's the closest you can get to like everyone hearing you forever.
Yeah.
I would say send $5 to 46 First Avenue.
Yeah. But his quote wasn't that good because it wasn't that small a step because of the no gravity. It was quite a big step for man.
I think the first step was pretty small though. He didn't go bounding off the.
Because I felt he goes one small step for man. I'm like, actually,
yeah, I know, but the first
an
one's a
incredibly
small
large
one.
step relative to what we've been doing. Like, I'm like, there's no gravity, so I'm like, technically, Neil,
So you think it would have been better if it was like one moderately large step?
technically one of the biggest steps taken by a human, if
A
we're
pretty
honest.
big step.
So a logic error, one small step for man, you just went 3 meters because there's no gravity. So I'm like, actually, incredibly big step. But what I'm saying to you, there's a logic error. It's not actually, it's just everyone just absorbs words. One small step for man, no. Massive step, no gravity, incredible. Like long jump, almost like a long jump. Or what's it, triple jump? And you know what I love the best is where they break.
Yeah, you know about the one where you have to like hop,
step,
and
jump.
skip.
Hop, step, jump. But dude, you know what I love is they're breaking all the rules. Golf up there, the ball goes far. I'm like, yeah, there's no gravity. Well done. Oh, look, I've got the record for jumping high. I'm like, yeah, we get it. There's no gravity, cunt. Turn them off. Let's get Mr. Beast back on.
Wait, did they do that? Did they do this?
Oh, dude, he had the flag. He did a golf swing.
Right, okay.
They had all those great moments. Oh, the ball just kept going. I'm like, yeah, it's anti-gravity. Get over it.
Although, man, it would be pretty cool to whack a ball off into space. That would feel good, I reckon.
It might,
Shoot at Earth. Come on, man. Like, you're lining it up and you're like, okay, fuck you, Africa. Pop. That'd be awesome, man. What would feel better than that?
Oh, man.
Whacking balls in Eastern Europe.
Dude, imagine what could you do that would be different? Like, did he piss on? Oh, that's what I'd like. Piss or
I
shit.
think if you get your cock out, you die. So, you
So
probably
you can't take a shit on the moon?
you can't take your shit on the moon.
Hey, that's what you want. And
You have to pre-plan, man. You have to be on the fucking the lunar module. You'd have to shit preemptively, and then when the doors open, hef it out.
Oh, that's a great move because you go, this is the US flag, and here's my flag. I just shat on the moon, motherfuckers. And then they go like, and then you got shirts coming back. Take a dump on the moon, motherfuckers. And they're like, Neil Armstrong, take a dump on the moon, motherfucker. And then he can tour and do stand-up shows, and people line up with their shirts. Because they all love one-lines, don't they?
I think Oppenheimer has to have the gayest one because he walked around with that fucking Hindu quote in his head and then repurposed it for "I am become death destroyer." Like, what a nerd! What a fucking nerd.
Dude, it's funny how humans have to try to be profound. Like they think, oh, it's got to be profound. It's got to be a big thing. I would have liked as well if one of them wouldn't get out and go, no, just, like a kid that won't get in the pool. He wouldn't get out of the spaceship. He goes, nah, it seems dangerous. Come on in. Buzz, come in. And he goes, nah. And he was like, fuck, dude, we spent like millions. Buzz was too chicken. He said, nah, I'm just not feeling it. And stayed in the ship. Did Buzz get out?
Buzz got out. It was Michael Collins didn't get. Man, you know what the move is, right? You get out as Neil, right? And you immediately, like, you cut the camera feed and you start screaming. You're like, oh my god, it's moon ghosts! You rip Buzz's helmet off. You rip your own helmet off.
That would be like Predator. And you got Buzz dressed as like and you got every kid watching, and it's like, we're coming to you. And you're like, what?
You spend hours. So you got your little microphone there. You're like, oh, the moon god is angry.
Dude, they've got dress
Don't come
makeup.
up here. The moon god will get you.
You simulate an attack with what looks like an alien, and you're like, how sick was that prank? And like people are screaming,
yeah.
and they're like, this is a weird Buzz dressed as Predator trying to eat at his body, and then you yell, they're entering the ship, they're coming for the Earth, and then when you get back, you go, how good was the prank? You guys believed it. Every camera back, we had that fucking fake Predator head going, we're coming down. And they're like, should we land it? They've got the Air Force One as it's coming down because they think the Predator mask is on the ship. But it's Buzz with costume makeup yelling into the camera. We took control of Neil. What else could you write up there?
Just imagine how different the world would be today if Neil Armstrong murdered Buzz Aldrin and then started screaming about how the moon god was angry before killing himself. Man, that's all we would learn in school. It'd be like, and we all know that tonight, full moon, and that's because we have to give praise to the moon god, as we learned from Neil Armstrong in his first steps. Those brave men who gave their life as a sacrifice to the great moon god in the sky.
Oh, mate, but you know what the thing is? They always feel obliged to make it profound. Do you know, like I was saying earlier, you got a big quote.
Who are the big profound ones?
Well, I'm saying just the idea. And they're like, how was it? It's incredible. Your mind's blowing, seeing the Earth. But I would just love to be cynical and go, how was it? It was really boring.
Shit moon.
And they were like, was it good out the window? I'm like, yeah, for a minute. And then it was boring as shit. And they go, what's the moon like? And I go, it sucked. And then they go, what did you experience up there? And I'm like, it was a long trip to nowhere. It was a fucking, I regret getting into astronautery.
To NASA.
I should never have been got into astronautery. I should have been a butcher. I wasted my life. I've fucking trained for 10 years for this. It's not that exciting, man. Do you not think?
Yeah, no, that's true.
Why is it so exciting? It's a fucking barren rock in the air. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wow, we got there. Whatever. And look, the conspiracy though, because it's still around that it was fake, hey? Do you believe it's true? It has to be.
I think so. Yes. I mean that Buzz Aldrin whacked that dude in the face. That was pretty good. That sealed it for me.
Yeah, and also it's like if they're faking it, they wouldn't have made it so boring. Like something would have, you know what I mean? Like if you're designing
you would have had the moon god. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you got Russia who's trying to get up there as well. So you get the whole moon god. Like you got fake moon people, and Russia's like, oh shit, we shouldn't go. Stay away.
Dude, imagine if they'd written in the dirt, Russia sucks. In big thing, Russia can suck my dick. Cold War.
Man, you got to think they did something. I guess it would be pretty easy to find out through like satellite imagery now.
Well, they reckon you can't see the flag on it.
It's a small flag, right?
Yeah.
A big novelty flag would have been funny as well, like one that you could see from Earth. Like they get up there and they start unrolling this giant US flag, and the night sky has changed forever.
Oh, dude,
and you just got a huge image of the USA.
Dude, imagine that. And you unroll a Coca-Cola flag and you're like, sorry, dude, I took the money. And from now onwards, when you look up at the moon, you can see drink Coca-Cola. And you're like, sorry, dude, it's a lot of money. They offered me 100 mil. It's up there. And you're like, fucking hell. There's a Coca-Cola sign on the moon. You're fucking dead. And you're like, yeah, it's not illegal technically.
That would be pretty good.
If you roll that advertising up there,
That'd be amazing.
Because why? But what did they? How long were they on it? Just for an hour?
I don't know how long were they on the moon. Let's see. How long was Neil Armstrong on the moon? 21 hours and 36 minutes. Wow, they did a full day up there. 21 hours, 36 minutes. That is a long time, man.
Yeah. It's as I said, if
They had seven. Well, wait. They were on there for 21 hours and 36 minutes, and then they had a 7-hour sleep.
what they slept on the moon.
They had a 7-hour sleep, and then the ascent stage engine fired off at 124 hours and 22 minutes.
Dude, I can't believe they slept up there because it would have been. There's no sound. It would have been peaceful, eh? Is there any sound up there? No.
Well, I think I wonder I assume the lunar module they you didn't need to wear a helmet in, so you probably have air in there. But
Yeah.
there's no point where it's soundless because you've got to wear the fucking helmet, so you're always hearing your own breath and then everyone else on the radio.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You'd have your own breathing like a serial killer on a phone.
Yeah, and then fucking Buzz's breathing as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
he's right next to you, and you can just hear.
Dude, there's a lot of the tech. I did think it happened, but there's so many weird things about it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like when you.
What's weird about it?
Well, I'm saying like he's managed to talk back one small step for man, but then when I try call my dad in Duncraig, I'm not getting reception. I'm like, it's a lot of years later, and I'm like, I can't get reception when I get pizza inside the order area. It just cuts out.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't think they're sending your message through like high-powered radio signals.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? If you've got the technology that you can get a call from the moon, then why is Vodafone still so unreliable? Do you know what I mean?
Because it's radio.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I'm just trying to contribute to conspiracy theorists. They'll be like, every time their phone cuts out signal, they're like, yeah, pretty.
Yeah, we went to the moon. We went to the fucking moon. I can't even have my phone calls.
Neil can text me from the moon. I don't have reception when I'm camping. Fucking use your brain, dickhead. Open up. The truth's out there, fuckhead. But dude, what?
Yeah, that bit's crazy. I think the fact that they had that open fire as well was insane, and they're cooking sausages. It didn't make a lot of sense.
But do you
It
reckon?
looked more like they were camping in the woods.
Do you reckon? Because Elon's sending people up there again, hey?
Yeah, is he? I don't know. Is he?
Yeah, he's scheduled to do it, and then they're gonna do Mars as well. So, but it's just too little, too late. Like, it doesn't excite me. We can see those planets. You know what I mean? We're not gonna have anything exciting because they go, "Oh, it's incredible. We're in Mars in 20 years, 30 years." I'm like, Mars sucks. I want a fucking waterfall somewhere. You know, I want to see like those purple people. What were they called? Spielberg's fucking Android ones. What are they called? Avatar.
Oh,
I want fucking Avatar,
Avatar. Well, right. You want.
This is the best we can hope for. Elon on Mars. What do you think they're going to say there? You'd have to like divert that one small step and do some deviation. Even bigger step.
There have been. They've had 12 people who have walked on the moon.
Do you think they jacked off on the shuttle?
I would hope so. Haven't some people fucked in space now?
Yeah. What's it called? The 10,000 mile class. Someone would write something like that. Dude, you know what?
You just said it.
Yeah, but I was thinking like what a comic would say. And the fucking man. Dude, you know I'm going to LA in November.
Mm-hmm.
One of the worst planned trips possible.
Why do you say that?
Well, the flight's booked, and I don't really want to go anymore. And now I've booked a hostel, and I'm like, because I left it so late, it's so expensive. And I was like, I need a private room. And then I looked at the photos, because, you know, it's like, fuck, I can't afford anywhere else. I looked at the photos, and, you know, like there's out the front, you can see tent cities. Do you know what I mean? Like homeless people. I'm like, this absolutely sucks. I looked at the photo, and I'm like, I can see my hostel, and there's like those cubbies, homeless cubbies everywhere. And I'm like, fucking hell, I'm coming home late at night and I've got to like, do you know what I mean? But then I realized all of LA's like that. There's homeless people everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of homeless people.
Fuck, man.
It's pretty comfy, man. You sleep on the beach. It's nice.
Oh, dude, I realized, like, you know, the fantasy is like the streets are lined in gold. You go there, you end up on the Rogan podcast. I end up being his godfather to his new kid. And I'm like, oh, my whole life's changed. We're texting. And I'm like, chill out, dude. Your last album was all right. You got there in the end. You know,
Wait, your last album? No.
Rogan's texting, go, do you think I lost him at the end? I'm like, yeah, you did. But like, it's not a big deal because you got a lot of momentum with UFC and stuff. But the truth is, you realize I'm just going to be fucking destitute hanging around homeless people. And the best I'm going to get at any of the gigs is hanging out with the deluded open micers where they're like, follow me. I'll get you in the back kitchen. And they'll go like, mate, we can get you on The Magic and the Wizard. Tomorrow, it's a muffin store right in front of, you know, you can see the Hollywood Hills from there. I'm like, this is a fucking dome cafe. It's a Starbucks, cunt. And it's like, yeah, man, I'll let you, you can middle. You can middle for 3 pennies. I'm like, the whole fucking idea sucks because it's basically chasing but it would just help put to rest the idea that there's a special place on this planet. Because at the moment, the only place I haven't been is LA, and I would like to realize and confirm in my mind that it's as shit as everywhere else. Because a lot of people are going, like,
Santa Monica's quite nice. Santa Monica's like what I was saying about the homeless people, man. Like, you walk along the beach and there's like homeless. You're looking at going like, fuck, I could just sleep there. Like, this is ridiculous.
Oh, well, that's
They've
good.
got it easier than. You don't need a hotel, man. You just need to go to Santa Monica and you can have a sleep on the beach. You'll be fine.
Well, that'd be perfect. And then you can have the homeless are good as well because you can, you know what I mean? Walking, if you don't even wear shoes, if you're rushing in and out, just step on all the sleeping bags. You can just, sort of, you know what I mean? Like playing lava, jumping.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't need a sleeping bag on the beach, man. You're good. I'm telling you, just lie down in the dunes and then wake up and go off you go on your merry way.
But dude, you have this idea because I was like, should I take my laptop? And then I'm like, I'm going to get like a trash phone, wear all black, and just have a credit card with a phone that's worth $2 so that there's literally nothing you can take from me. Like, just be a straw map. Do you know what I mean?
So you're ahead of time worried that someone's going to mug you.
Oh, of course they'll mug me, but I'll be like, take the phone. Like, it's a $1.
Why are you getting mugged?
I'll be like, it's a $1 phone, dickhead. I'm like, you can buy them from the. I'm not taking anything of value. I've realized.
Why? What are you so worried about getting stolen?
Well, I just like the thought that someone mugs me and they're disappointed. So they see me get out of an Uber and I'm like, yeah, dude, you're dumb. I'm not. I left everything I've got. You want it? Get to my parents' house. It's in the back bedroom. I've got a laptop and a $60 shirt from David Jones. You can't touch. Checkmate, fuckhead. My David Jones baptism communion shirt is fucking untouchable. Unless
So what
you
have
want
you
to get a
got planned
flight.
what have you got planned for your LA trip?
Well, this is what I want to, is immerse myself in the comedy scene, cruise around. But
You fucking loser. Immerse yourself.
What's very likely to happen is basically watch more like Dahmer type Netflix things in a hostel and just leave for an hour a day to watch other people perform and then come home very
Text
depressed.
Jane. Hey man, haven't gotten back to me.
I'll be like, it's real sorry. And they go, did you email? I'm like, nah, I just thought it'd be better to do it in person. And then get back and then tell everyone, oh, it's different out there. I'm like, and I'll tell the headliners, you know, like a big headliner, and I'm like, that's good. You know, it's, you know, but you probably have to change, you know, having my experience in LA, if I was you, I'd be slowing it up there, dude. Tired of riding. That's what I learned on my trip. Watch and learn. And I go, yeah, I bombed right then, but that's LA style. That's what I learned from my trip. This is LA style. When I was talking to Judd Apatow, he said, slow it up. I reckon I'll come back and be the worst. Because what I'll realize is there's no fucking VIP lounge on this shitty planet. People like to try to give the impression that they're doing well, but everyone is scared and sad and hates this place. And there's a few people going, oh, LA, it's amazing. You got a fucking weird, they're coyotes, you got a big backyard. It all sucks. You know why? Because most people bore the fuck out of you. So even the Hollywood Hills is death. Imagine being up there. And they're trying to get drinks. They've got all the money. You got the cocktails. How good's this? I'm like, sucks. You sucking mediocre cunt. You're nothing. You're not Oscar Wilde. You're boring. Do you know what I mean? How many of these people do you think have that, what's it called? The imposter syndrome?
Imposter syndrome?
I think all of them should. Because realistically, there's not that much there. Every cunt should feel imposter syndrome. If you don't have it, you're mental. Don't you think? You're actually mental. If you actually invest in your stuff and you're like, it's pretty good. The new song's pretty good. I'm like, it's not. It sucks. Do you know what I mean? Monkeys banging on tins and then going, they've done well. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, no one's created anything good because we're ultimately a monkey and it's pathetic. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Even the best story is pathetic. Written by a monkey. Do you know what I think? What great work. Fuck. Because they're always so keen to go, oh, he's a genius. And I'm like, it's impossible because you're a monkey. How can a monkey be a genius? Do you know what I'm saying? How can a monkey create great work? And they go, he's a genius. Look at his great paintings. I'm like, it's a fucking elephant at a zoo. It's fucking shit. It's absolute dog shit. And once we get the aliens down here, they'll prove it.
Oh fuck, man! I didn't realize this, but apparently that elephant painting thing, like, was it Tina?
Yeah.
Was her fucking name? Yeah, like that's not the only one. They have them in like every zoo.
Oh mate, I've
never heard of this before. But then I heard someone talking about they made a reference to elephants painting in zoos. And apparently there's fucking heaps of them. That Perth bitch wasn't special at all.
I just love that people can suspend their reality enough to think it's cute or fun. That you've withheld its food and abused it to a point where it has to do a performance for you. I'm like, it's a modern day fucking circus. You think it wants to draw a painting every 2 hours? Rest assured that someone's got a stun gun in its fucking back after the zoo closes. They got a stun gun on its penis, shooting it until it fucking draws. But dude, did you hear that chess cheating scandal? I was thinking we need to do it in poker. There's a guy, he's meant to have anal beads because AI... Because the game...
wait. You can't say anal beads and then go AI.
Well, no, because AI can beat all grandmasters, right? Because of game theory, like the theory that we're effectively the theory that we're a monkey. So even if we collect and accumulate and try optimize, it will fundamentally not work. Like the best is there's different permutations to work. But anyway, there's an AI bot that can do it, and they've got it down to like a little microchip. So what it does is it will give him a little buzz to show him how he's done it. But because these guys are such nerds, this guy went it was the first move, and he goes rook to A1, and he goes rook to B1, and they go, fuck off, you're fucking cheating, cunt. There's no way anyone does that. We've all read the books. You always do BC. You'd always do BC. Why is he doing B1? And I'm like, he's got fucking anal beads in him, dickhead. He's smarter. But I was like, you got to do it with poker. We got to do it with these shows, like little algorithm that can outfox the fox. Do you know what I mean? Because this guy, he admitted that he was doing it online and computers, and I'm like, surely you could install a chip that just makes you make better decisions on everything. Just stop listening to your mind.
Yeah.
No, but do you know what I'm saying? Like, eventually people will just be walking around with laptops, and you're like, just following your AI instruction, and you're like, you get a coffee, and it'll go, no, get a Boost juice. That's what you need. You need a juice.
How do you want to do this with poker? What are you talking about?
Well, poker, it knows how to play it. So I'm like, I want to get something installed that just basically removes my brain, and all it does is monitor cards and tell me how to win.
You can't cheat in casino poker anymore.
What's it?
They use 6 decks or
but I'm saying,
they have like infinite numbers of cards.
No, that's for 21, right? But
and for poker, man.
But poker,
I'm pretty sure don't they do it for poker as well?
No, poker's like one like it depends what, Texam, Hold'em, whatever the fuck. But what I'm saying to you is that eventually you can just remove, and all I really want to do is like have no personality, just put a small computer up there that just wins games of skill. So that's all I am. I'm just like an ATM for my sons. And they just, I sit there and they go, where's his brain? And we bin that, but he's a master at chess, poker, and carnival skill testers. He knows, you know what I mean? He can follow the cup and find the ball.
Yeah. Oh, how did you make your fortune? Oh, my dad kept winning big soft toys at carnival.
He's winning
games.
soft toys. And then,
we're so wealthy in terms of big soft toys.
and then look, it was a
carnival
big compromise because we've got a mansion now, but he just sits on the deck playing the skill tester because we took his brain. But we got an awesome pool and he was happy to do it. I'm like, take my brain and just put in an AI bot that does decision tree shit so we get rich, boys. And they were like, do you ever want to come back? And I'm like, I never wanted to be here, cunt. Do you want to come back? I'm like, just profit off me. We'll fill the brain with an AI bot that just wins carnival games.
What carnival games are you going to make your
Oh,
fortune
like
on?
what on the, on the side where they do a ball under 3 cups? I can win that.
Yeah. So you can take home a big soft toy. And then what do you do with the big soft
toys? Darts, whatever, darts with the balloon. My hand's like just ornamented with
Yeah, but the prizes are always big soft toys.
Unbelievable. One of the biggest.
you can't become wealthy with by having heaps of
one
big
of the
soft
biggest
toys.
retailers of soft toys in the world. And they're like, where's he getting his product so cheap? And he's like, at carnivals and fairs. I'm like, boys, I'm off. We've got a 300 teddy bear order for a cancer ward in Liverpool. I'm going to go and win big. I go fetch my dart. I'm going to go get 30 soft toys for telethon. Yeah, man. But anyway, so this guy was putting anal beads to win. But it really makes you realize how shit the game is. That it's basically not skill. It's just algorithm. Like there's certain moves.
Chess Grandmaster anal bead conspiracy.
He did it.
Oh, fuck me.
Dude, and the guy, this is what you realize how boring their life is. The master knew immediately, like, oh, that's incorrect move. So he's like, this is fraud, I'm walking away. I'm like, how boring's his life? Because all he's doing is following like position B, C, position D. He's basically just a really boring algorithm that just does decision moves. I'm like, so there's no creativity in what he's doing. He just knows AA11, AA12, AA11. I'm like, and then he's a genius. No, he's a fucking robot.
Hold on. This is a conspiracy. It's not. They haven't found someone with anal beads.
Dude, he admitted.
They haven't found someone with anal beads. This is a weird conspiracy theory.
No, they found it. They know that he's cheating on computer games.
It's just allegations of cheating. Because he beat, what's his fucking name, Magnus Carlsen.
Well, he didn't even beat him. Magnus walked away. But you know what was crazy is they.
No. He's. Hold on. Wait. It said. No, he did beat him. He beat him, and then he exited the tournament because he lost.
Yeah. But no, I'm pretty sure he just forfeited immediately because the move was outside of the protocol of what you would expect, and then people are up in arms. But the thing is, he had been caught when he was younger because during the COVID and also during COVID, he was on chess.com and they monitored his eyes and they were like, oh, all his big moves, you can see him looking at another laptop. You know, to the right. And they're like, you can see his eyes clearly looking at another laptop. And then he's like this, hold that thought. And then he's like, wait a second. B, pawn, B4, B6. But so they monitored. And the other thing is they can tell, and this is what we've been saying about social media and all this stuff, they can tell.
You got the conspiracy wrong though. Like the conspiracy is that Magnus is cheating, the reigning champion.
No, wrong way.
It says here the real answer is actually elementary. Magnus cheats. He's always had anal beads up his butt, maybe for the past 10 years. That's how he's been dominating the entire field of players. There was a slight dip during the time we played Karuna because he was so drunk he couldn't feel the vibrations and ended up losing
That's crazy.
the game.
Dude, and do you understand they're doing what we dreamt? They're basically just becoming a computer to win a weird carnival game.
That's so funny. That's so funny. This guy posted this on the chess subreddit. It was just
That's so funny.
People just kept buying him awards on Reddit.
People would be so angry because that's not the true story. It's the young guy that's got the beat. That's just a troll trying to. Magnus is the real deal. But you know what the thing is? It's like, I don't know, hey.
Why was anal beads? It says down the bottom, to reiterate, there is no evidence that Neiman cheated. And there's certainly no evidence that any anal beads were used in Carlson's stunning defeat.
Oh, mate, it definitely was, though. But I'm like, there's so many chances to cheat now in all games. I'm like, I reckon that's why I'm losing on the stock market, because they're just running algorithms. AI.
Yeah, they are.
AI
They're running high-frequency trading bots.
and AI is like just triggering me. So I'm in MISO. Then they know that I'm at an Ibis, freaking out, and they can get people like me suicidal to go like, I've had enough. I'm just so angry looking at it. Take the money. And then it's like, up it goes. And I'm like, I need to get an AI machine to, like, why am I even living? I just want the AI to make my decisions, because you have your phone and you look at your phone and go, should I go on the map? Should I respond? I'm like, I'm happy to forego my decisions and just get an AI decision maker to tell me what to do. Do you know what I mean? I'm sick of losing. I'm like, tell me what to do. Do I kiss her? Do I follow him? Do I bash him? Do you know what I mean? So it tells me and goes, bash the coffee woman. Bash woman. I'll just do whatever they say. Beat her. And then I'm like, fuck, I beat her, and now something happened. I ended up, like, she had $100,000 in a car. Do you know what I mean? It's like Grand Theft Auto, and suddenly I start gaming the machine. Do you know what I mean? They go, like, bash him, and you bash him, and you're like, how did he know that I had $100,000 of coke in the boot? He's rich now. Do you know what I mean? I'm just sick of trying to use my logic, because it doesn't work. Are you not sick of using your brain? Like, don't you just want to have like it's going to be a more advanced Magic 8 Ball where you just basically press a button, it goes, leave her. Do you know what I mean? It'll just tell you all the stats. Abandon your children, move to LA, do the cruise ship job, take a cruise ship job. And you're like, this does not feel good. Like, I'm doing cruise ships now in Gold Coast, but the AI says this is the move. So I'm just backing. Get drunk. Dude, that's what was crazy as well. Like, because I'm not drinking now, how good alcohol is. Dexy Alcohol Bender is what saved my gigs. Because I was in my own head. And then when I slept on that carpet till 12, woke up hungover, I was back, baby. Because I didn't care about the comedy anymore. And, like, the next gigs went well. Because I was...
So you've been not drinking for, like, a week?
I've not been drinking for a week, but what I was saying to you is... Dude, and
it's been like 7 days.
I'll tell you one thing. I put on so much weight living next to McDonald's. That smell.
It's been like you're talking about these tiny periods of time. Like, yeah, I was living next. Mate, you're in a hostel for like 3 days, and you're like, oh, I put on 40 pounds. I'm fucking huge.
No, but I was saying, like, I do better when my brain shuts up. So it's like that bender saved me on my trip because I was totally like out of my head, off my head, stopped thinking, and then it was like, oh, it's going well now.
You've taken 1 weekend off drinking, and you're like, oh, stop drinking, man.
Yeah. But, dude, you know what the hardest part is? Is like the unforgiving hours. Just watching the clock tick, looking out your window, and you see a dog walker. You hear the reticulation going. And the bins are there, like, bin night on Monday, make sure you do the green bin. And you're like, what is going on? When you're drunk, you're not involved in any of that. just wandering around and chaos theory. When you're in there, they're like, Ben's on Monday. Hard rubbish is coming on Thursday in 3 months. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, this life sucks. It's so boring. It's so sterile. It's so sterile.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what you've learned from your weekend off of drinking.
Oh, dude, I still think that they were dangerous on that flight to put that lady in a car with me.
Yeah, that does seem very dangerous.
Don't you think it's a lawsuit? And the other thing is, like, why are they allowed to gamble like that? Fair enough.
It's like, I wonder if is the only way to have profited off that is for one of you to have attacked the other one.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, I still
like. Do you have to prove it to profit off of it?
No, I think I made my money because they had the hotel, and I thought that would be $200 a night, but it was a motel, so that's probably $50 a night. Then I stole $50 worth of Coke cans that I just binned. I tipped some down the sink, so that was $50. So that's $100. And then I had 2 cab charges that they expected was just to the motel, but I ended up using them to trash them $100 each. So that was $400 for someone that lived in Perth that lied to them. So I thought if everyone does that, we're going to win, right? That's $400.
Hey, did you get you got an Uber to the airport, or you have someone drop you off, or did you drive?
I got driven there, and that's why I missed the thing. My dad took the wrong turn off, so I was late. That's why I think I got bumped off. I was like, where are we? And I was like, how many times have you driven here? You've been doing this for fucking 40 years. What's going on? Do you know what I mean? But, dude, it's sort of like that, like what I was saying with my invoicing. Like, if everyone caused chaos, the system falls apart. No one's anarchist enough. Because, like, my dad was saying, oh, you're doing the invoices, you use the same invoice number. And I'm like, yeah, it's legal, but it just creates chaos for them. Because, when they come to order, I said I'm going to have 19 shipping containers filled with everyone's invoices and mine. And even when they find mine, it's all A079. I'm like, you work it out, cunt. You didn't have to, it doesn't have to be a unique or sequential. It just has to be a tax invoice. So I'm like, if everyone labeled their invoices A079, then it's almost unauditable. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, that would be good.
Because I've worked that out when I did audit. If you create enough decoys, you kill their budget. Because you give them fake story arcs where they're like, oh, look, it looks like he's moved the money offshore. And you're like, yeah, I just did that to waste your time. Like, it actually came back onshore. I just wanted you to have a meeting on Friday where we've got him. We've seen the money's been shipped off onshore. And then they find out a month later it was shipped back on. He just, and they're like, Jenny? What's going on? I thought you were doing it. You said he's done this, he's done that. And like, yeah, I think he might have just been making up fake scenarios to make me look like a fool. So I give you fake leads that lead nowhere. Do you know, decoy moves? Because what I was thinking with my money is if I make money now, I want to, Bali, you can get a visa, you know, Bali holidays visa, 5 years where you don't pay tax. And I was like, if I ship money, so if I make a capital gain, I ship it over there. And then I'm trying to think, I've got it in crypto, then I put it in a zip stick. Look, it's a long deal. But what I'm saying to you is, my dad was like, you don't have any money yet. I'm like, yeah, exactly. No one would think I'm doing it. No one would be thinking I'm setting up all these structures. I'm like, this guy had no money and he set up a bank account in Bali and a visa and he's got these zip sticks. He's moving money back and forth. And they're like, he's got like $500,000 tax loss that he could have offset it to. And I'm like, exactly. I'm like, if I leave the tax loss sitting there, checkmate, motherfuckers, because even there's no motive for them to chase me. So I made 10 mil and they'll be like, well, look, he's still got a tax loss. So like, we're not going to investigate him. Anyway, I'm not doing any of that if you're listening, ATO. Just a bit of a laugh. Bit of a fucking tomfoolery. Foolery.
Oh, fine. All right, what are the
Picks of the week?
Oh, well, mate, Miso's on a run. Turns out 2 years on that they might get it approved, that product, but I'm not in it now. I've had enough.
I'm still in it, man. I want to see how much of my losses I've made back.
A little bit. I was in there like 85 cents. Could have made like 30%. But with a margin, it's actually all right.
Where the fuck is it here?
It's going strong, mate. Buy more.
Oh wow, I've made $15 today.
105. It was up to one. Yeah. I'm going to go back into it. And then obviously Talon, TMK are the ones that I'm pushing. WGO, well, never, but maybe one day. But Talon, TMK was a hot
MSB
tip.
is still at the bottom of a fucking...
TMK was a
peak,
powerful tip, dude, because that's one doubled, and I picked it. So there you go, guys. Watch and learn. 8 years of failure.
Did you make money on that?
Well, it doesn't matter. I've picked a goodie.
Did you make money on that?
I made a little bit, but just enough to keep the fucking wolves away from my door. Not like fuck you money.
So when did you sell it?
I bought it at 1.1 cent and I sold it at 1 cent. No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. I've been trading it in and out from about 1 cent to 1.3. But my biggest position was then Talon, which I thought was, as like I did with Strike and WGR, I was like, oh, this is the cheaper one. This is the one that's not recognized. This is the hot girl that everyone wants to bang. And I'm like, her sister's pretty hot as well. Someone will want to fuck her eventually. And now I'm trapped, married with the sister. I'm like, she's not. She's not hot. I'm fucking stuck with Danny Minogue. I'm like, everyone's banging Kylie. I'm like, what the fuck? She wants to do Revlon now. She wants to do like cosmetic business. Dude, have you been, we need to get money urgently, dude. I need money.
What for?
To be an antagonist in this world. I really don't want money.
Man, you're already a fucking threat.
No, but I was saying to you, I was saying to my folks, I'm like, I don't think I'll ever spend money now. I'll just use it to annoy people. Like, I have no idea. I'm going to keep the Holden Captiva. I'm going to rent, and any money I get is just going to be annoying, to be a thorn in the side of society. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what sort of stuff. Anything that's annoying. That's what I want to spend my money on. Anything to be annoying.
Okay.
Is that what you want your money? I just want it to be annoying to people.
How? What are you doing with it?
Well, you know what I mean? Just spend like what I was saying, like the private schools, and then just funding people from sort of lower socioeconomic, just to send them in there on buses.
Right. Yeah,
just so and they're like, who's paying for this? And they go, that dickhead Wolf. They're up on meth all day, and then he comes and picks all the kids up, and they're at their elite school. Who's paying for it? Him. You know what I mean? I just continue. That would be my favorite. So there's no refuge for anyone. So that like the better areas, I'll just buy houses and put worse people in to go like, there's no escaping cunts. There's no fucking lockout. I'm going to buy a mansion for the worst person in Perth and make him live next to you. And they're like, why are you doing that? And I'm like, because I don't want you to have any fucking refuge in this planet. So you can work your balls off and make 100 mil. I'm making sure the worst human I've ever met lives next door to you. And I'm going to live in a rental. I don't care. All I'll do is monitor my cameras and see everyone angry. All I want is CCTV cameras monitoring all the little setups I've got with going, there's a meth head living next door. It's fucking annoying. And I can just sit on a single bed laughing like the Joker. And they're like, he spends his money just being annoying to hire people to go on the Mitchell Freeway and drive slower during rush hour. He hires hundreds of cars to just slow cars. In the commute, there's 100 people that are paid just to drive at 40 k's an hour up and down the freeway. And they're like, who's doing that? And it's like sponsored by Andrew Wolf. And they're like, it took me 3 hours to get to work. The guy just hires hundreds of cars to just drive at 20 k's an hour. Pop, 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 pop. There's a lawn mowing machine. There's tractors. I hire hundreds of tractors to drive from 8 to 10 and then from 5 to 7 back. Just boop, 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 putting along. Can you imagine how annoyed people would be? Andrew hires, and they're like, what for? What happens when the tractors are there? Well, they just get parked and they wait until rush home on the way home. And they sit out there and have and then they annoy you. I tell them to pester people for money in the city. That's your job. Harass people. So when they're sitting in a park, just sit alongside them and yell. Do you
Man,
think
that like, I don't know, because if you have 4 mates, you could ruin every day. Like, every day's rush hour traffic. Why has no one done that? You know what I mean? Like, you've got those people, those Extinction Now people who are, like, blocking fucking bridges and stuff. But just get on the M1 and, like...
Dude, I
the
saw
whole way
guys
up there,
doing it
4
in
lanes.
Sydney, and they were setting up with yellow visors to hold up the traffic. And I was like, they always do it for a purpose, climate change or that. But I want to be the guy where they go, why is he doing it? And they're like, because he wasn't popular in high school. He wasn't popular in high school. So now he's like, imagine that. Tractor's in, so it takes an extra hour to get there. And then the people are instructed, harass everyone on the street in the CBD all day. Yell at them, ask for money. If they're having food, come and sit right next to them, listening in. Put your phone out, trying to record to them and go, oh, interesting. Everything someone says, go, oh, that's interesting. Good point. Do you know, imagine if you're sitting having lunch, the guy that blocked you in the tractor is in near your picnic with colleagues going, interesting, well said, so smart. Good point, dickhead, good point. And you're like, I'm trying to have my sandwich in peace. And there's a man going, as you talk to colleagues, good point, well said, so clever. Such a clever man. And then they go, anyway, lunch is over, back to your office. I'll see you at 5, cunt. I'm in my tractor. I'm going to fucking make you take 2 hours home. And imagine the guys they're all sitting in their shitty cars behind a man in a tractor, and it's got sponsored by Andrew Wolf. They're hellish. None of it's illegal. And I can do that. If I get enough money, I can grind everything to a halt. Because I've been doing it now, man, because I told you how I was getting fined a lot for speeding. And now I drive. Well, I almost lost my license.
What do you mean? Why were you getting fined so much?
Well, because I didn't care about any of the rules, so I just drive as fast as I felt like. And then now I'm like, okay, well, you win. So now I drive 20 k's slower and go round, because I still get my high. I go at 60 k's on the Mitchell. Go round. I go in the right lane, 60 k's, and I tell people to go round, slow up, dawdling along. And you know what? If everyone did that, well, it'd be amazing. But whatever. Just being annoying. Why does everyone be communal? Just be annoying.
I don't think you need money for a lot of this, man. Like just a couple friends, you know what I mean?
Dude,
like, you got 3 cars, you fuck traffic.
Everything. I'm going to start paying in pennies, counting out at every till. 5 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents. Wait, I lost count. 5 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents. And they're just like, dude, someone's got to do it. It's dirty work, but I'm going to do it.
Someone has to do it.
It's dirty work just to be a saboteur. Whatever, man. I'm not well. Well, anyway, dude, I look forward to seeing this pod in about fucking 8 years.
No, man, we'll have it this week.
By the time it comes out, people will be on Mars. Going like, they make no sense. We've inhabited Mars. We're talking about the moon. And they're like, we did find Avatar Land. He was right. Anyway, dude, hopefully, well, how are we meant to get more money out of these people listening?
What do you mean? We just had another person join the Patreon, man.
Dude, that is
everything's going fine.
That's what they call kamikaze. Just running into a wall with that money. We don't deliver anything. There's video, half of it doesn't work. I'm like, that is someone with money to burn, hey? You know what I mean? That's equivalent to throwing coins out the side of a car window. It's just...
Yeah, man, the longer we leave the episodes, and the more they listen.
Yeah, but the thing is, do you know what the problem with the pod is? It's a filthy secret. It's a filthy secret. No one shares it because...
It's perfect, man. It's a perfect pod.
It doesn't seem like anyone talks about it. It's just some guilty pleasure that they jack off to. Do you know what I mean? It's like the other woman. Do you know what I mean?
What's wrong with that?
So they've got their wife at home. They talk about their other things that you're probably going to bleep out, those types of people as performers. But they do listen to us, but they never admit it. Even interrogated, they wouldn't admit they watch this. Do you think? And what do they need, man? Like, we say anything. This is it when you get needy. I'll say anything to be funny. What do you want? Do you want me to do the accent? Just give me some...
Why don't we just say everyone tell a friend to download? Just download. We don't even honestly don't care if they listen.
Dude,
just
fuck
download
that. Don't tell a
pump our
friend
numbers up.
when they go to the toilet and they leave their phone on there, just fucking sign them up. I don't want them to watch it. I'm like, just go on people's phones and sign them up for our Patreon. If they've got banking linked to their thing, just fucking get drunk and see how many people you can sign up and see how long it takes. You sign up, if you get a reward if you get 5 people signed up without them knowing.
Well, man, this is like we I don't know if we spoke about it a while ago, but I definitely wrote it down. I think the way that we make our money, right, is eventually we sign up enough people to Patreon who die that we just kind of make money off of dead ex-patrons.
Yeah. Well, I'd like
man, like if you got like Matt and Shane's Secret Pod or like the Adam Friedland show, right? They've got like 50,000 people on there. You got to think one of them every day is dying.
Dude, 100%. And it takes the estate. Sometimes it's contested. It takes years. And then often the account remains valid because the little dirty grandkids are still draining from it. And they're not aware that there's $7 coming out. Almost definitely 1% of all Patreons are dead right now and people are profiting.
Yeah.
And you're like, those are the ones you want. Dead people.
That's exactly what we want. Ideal if you have any relatives or friends or anyone you know, if you could go around to like an ICU, you know, or like a palliative care unit and just sign people up for the Sure Thing podcast.
Dude, well, you must realize, and that's why Patreon's so strong, because it's so hard to bother to unsubscribe. Do you know what I mean? Like you end up just, $7, whatever. I lost money at the hookers or whatever. I'm losing money on my
money at the hookers.
I lost more than that at the hookers.
I lost all my money at the hookers,
I
baby.
lost
I got mugs.
at the strip show where I got charged for 15 lap dances that I don't remember. I'm not going to bother with that. I just need to curb my drinking. But it's sort of like Stanhope did, where his mum died and he goes, thanks, mum, for those purchases 7 days after you died. I'm like, what you really need is those, what we need to do is to go along to fucking hospices and people dying and get them to sign credit cards and then direct debit that. And go, what have you got to lose, dude? Your family doesn't visit you because you're a fucking dead shit. I'm willing to come back. If you fill this form out, I'll come and collect it. And I'll have a chat with you about World War II. But you fill this fucking form out and then we can get... You know what? Visa International on 100 a week. And he goes, why would I do that? I'm like, because I'm the only guy that's ever visited you in 6 years, dickhead. I'm all you got. Don't you think?
The more end of life people are dead, just dying, whatever, sign them up. If the more estates we can get on board.
Do you think Visa has that when like is stricter if you're like born in 1941 and you're looking for a Visa card? Do you think they've got controls? But
I wonder if they have like because my buddy was talking about how he got like his card got flagged for like a $1 test purchase, right? Like it was, you know, like they called him up and they're like, "Hey, this looks like fraud. Did you make this purchase?" And he was like, "No." And they're like, "Oh, it's okay. They were probably just doing a quick, like a small purchase to see if it worked, see if the number worked." It's like, man, how do you flag that? How do you flag like a 60-cent charge? It's like surely they must have like, okay, well, this person was born in this place. Like, they're very unlikely to be purchasing like scented candles for $4,000.
It narrows in on you because when I was really depressed, almost every purchase I made was flagged because they're like, this guy doesn't leave the house. What? He's bought a sandwich? He seems to have had lunch with someone. This is not like it. He's met up in the city for lunch with someone else. But you know what I used to do in London? You have 2 accounts and you rotate monthly between them and you pick up all the fucking 7-Eleven fraudsters doing their $1.99 fucking bubble gum fraud where they're just pinging you for 90 cents, $1. It's pretty hard for them to know. And you can tell they don't know because they ring you up. and go, was this you? I'm like, you know what I mean? It's not my problem. Because they're the ones that have to, we should, like part of the thing, they've got to refund it if it's the scam.
Yeah, we should refund everything.
Or everyone should actively go, hey guys, there's a place in Bali where they're ripping it all off. Everyone go there and give your card so we can fucking absolutely rail National Australia Bank. Let these cunts live. I'm like, take me for 20 grand, cunt, and I'll get it refunded. You just give me a clip. You give me 1,000. You know what I mean? Like, once you find a breach, you should encourage fish through it to fucking corrupt the bank. It shouldn't be the other way where you go, oh, let's stop it. We're like, there's a Bangladeshi 7-Eleven. Everyone give them your card. Let's fucking bankrupt Commonwealth Australia Bank. Do you know what I mean? Run it through.
Yeah. Like we should try and get people who listen to the podcast to send us their credit card details. We sell the credit cards to third parties, and then everyone just mass reports the charges back.
Well, that's the thing, because it's a weird scenario, right? No one wants to help a brother out. What you really need to do is you're like, these guys are in Bangladesh struggling. Everyone go and get a second visa and email through the details to these Bangladeshis. And just like, you don't need the money, just get a 10 grand visa and we'll all send them. They'll get bags of visas, you know, that they can just scan. And we're like, it's 3 months of admin. You get the money refunded. And National Australia Bank loses about $2.6 billion because people decide to go like, hey, why wouldn't we rip the bank off? We're going to get it back, get a second visa and give it to someone in Bali. What I'm going to do next time I go to Bali, which might be soon, is get a secondary visa and hand it to someone on the street and go fucking wild, cunt. You live. I'm like, you live. And they cry. I'm going to go, get yourself a fucking jet ski, go and stay. And then as long as I'm off camera, as I hand it to him, and then I just go, yeah, it was pinched from my bag. Why did it take you 14 days to report? Well, because he was at the honeymoon suite for 14 days in Ubud. And I didn't want to wreck I wrecked the guy's vibe. He was there with his family. It took you a while to work it out. I'm like, yeah, well, I was waiting for him to return from Hawaii before I fucking cut him off. Anyway,
All
dude,
right.
we'll speak to you later. I'm sure we've fucking fucked up this recording somehow.
I didn't.
Dude, do you not admit that last video I looked like a drowned rat?
The only problem was that you kept wobbling the fucking camera. Because you had it on your desk and you kept kicking it with your fucking knee.
Oh! See you later, man.
Fifth